Experience shows that sheep which are well trained to electric fencing can happily be contained behind 2 wires. This leads to a very close relation of the sheep pack, called the DoublePac, which works exactly like a sheep pack but with only 2 wires. Hence we have a double rather than a multi-chuck, and the double guide has an extension very like the multi-guide extension except for the addition of these cleats. A very interesting way of using the DoublePac is in the double duplex mode, which builds a 4-wire fence. This is particularly well adapted to very dry environments where it may be necessary to provide earth and live wires in the fence. The double duplex mode requires a double duplex end assembly, that is, an end assembly with 4 pulleys. The best way to run the wires is for the inner spool to provide the wire for the top, and we'll call that the number 4, and the number 2 wires. The outer spool provides the wire for the number 1 and 3 wires. Let's have a look at how we thread the guides and the pulleys. The spool from the inner spool comes straight off the main part of the guide, down through the number 4 pulley, through the eyelet on the side of the number 3 pulley, through the number 2 pulley, and we secure that on the outer cleat on the double guide extension. The poly wire from the outer spool goes through the main part of the guide, through the outer loop on the extension, and this time it threads up through the number 1 pulley, through the eyelet on the side of the number 2 pulley, and you can see how that helps keep these 2 poly wires apart, through the number 3 pulley, and that attaches to the inner cleat on the extension. Because the poly wire is running out at twice your ground speed, your chuck tension is very important. And in general, you should remember that if you're using a duplex mode off the quad, your spool could be rotating at up to 5 times the speed it would be in normal walking operation. In other words, pay particular attention to your chuck tension and be prepared to make an adjustment during your run. Now we're just into the normal out, under, up, out, turn, turn routine. And away we go. The double duplex live earth fence presents some special problems at the spool end of the fence. We have to be very careful that the live and earth wires cannot make contact. As with the sheep fence, we need to detach the spools from the winder, and we go around the end inside the loop, undo the chuck nut and strip the spools off using our knee. We build our end assembly in the normal way. Note that the anchor treading has got 2 release hooks and 3 clips in between. The top clip is for our stay treading to push against. Now we'll take our number 2 poly wire, undo it from its cleat, and that's going to attach on to the lower of these clips. And note how I use the clip as a kind of cleat to secure the end. Same with our number 3 wire. It's onto the remaining clip, and note how I go around the shaft a couple of times first just to help secure it. Like so. Now we take our number 1 fence, which is wire, which is this spool. We attach it onto the bottom release hook, and note that I have it this way up so that these 2 poly wires are as far apart as possible because they are of opposite polarity. Finally, the number 4 spool, which attaches to the top release hook, and voila. Not only for the live earth wire situation, but this type of fence is very handy for training new stock or for difficult to control stock such as goats or deer. For deer, we would recommend a 1.5 or a 1.25 metre fiberglass shaft. Well, let's go and have a look at the power pack.